Quick question before we start. How many of you feel like your business should be making more money than it currently is? Well, that's probably everyone. And here's a reason for that. Most HVAC companies are operating at about 48% efficiency, which means you're leaving 52% of your potential revenue on the table. Now, look, that's not a guess. That's data from auditing 47 HVAC companies across the country. Now, in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly where that money is going, down to the dollar. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to capture it back. Now, my name is Adam Agley. I run Search Tick Digital Marketing here in Chicago, specialize in one thing, helping HVAC companies plug the operational leaks that are costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Now, everything I'm about to show you is backed by research from Bain and Company, Harvard Business Review, and real audit data from companies just like yours. This isn't theory. This is money you're losing right now today while we're sitting here. So let's get into it. All right. Here's the thing about running an HVAC business. You're busy. You're running service calls. You're managing tech. You're dealing with suppliers. You're putting out fires, literally and figuratively. And because you're so busy working in the business, you never have time to work on the business, which means you have no idea how much money is leaking out of your operation every single day. So let me give you a number, despite what you see here on the screen here. 566,000. That's the average annual loss for HVAC companies with a revenue between half a million and $2 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. That can't be right. I noticed if I was losing $500,000. Here's the thing though, you're not losing it all at once. You're losing it in a thousand tiny cuts. Okay? A missed call here, a customer you didn't follow up there, a negative review, you didn't respond to here, or a website visitor who bounced because your site looked outdated. Now, individually, these seem small and maybe insignificant, but when you add them up over a year, $566,000. And here's the worst part, most of your competitors are losing the same amount, which means the business owner who fixes these leaks first, they're going to dominate the market. And that's what I'm here to show you how to do. There are five specific operational pillars, I call them profit leaks, that every HVAC company needs to have locked down. And I'm going to walk you through each one. We'll calculate your specific losses in each area. Uh, at the end, I'll show you exactly how to fix all five in the next 30 days. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and start with leak number one. Now, before we dive into each leak, I want to show you the big picture. All right. These are the five profit leaks that are bleeding your business dry right now. Leak number one, the dead database. Leak number two, the star rating gap. Leak number three, the missed call crisis. And this is the biggest one. Leak number four, slow multi-channel response. And leak number five is the dead website. So together, they cost the average HVAC company $566,000 per year. But the good news is every single one of these are fixable. So let's go ahead and break these down one by one, starting with leak number one. Now, leak number one is the dead database. Here's a quick question for you. All right. How many customers have you served since you started your business? Just think about it and ballpark it for a minute in your head. 500, maybe 1,000, 2,000 perhaps, or more. Now, out of those customers, How many have you contacted in the last 12 months? And if you're like most HVAC companies, the answer is not many. And research from Bain and Company shows that 75% of HVAC customers haven't been contacted by the company in over a year. Now, that's a problem because here's what else the research shows. Past customers are 3 to 14 times easier to sell than new prospects. They already know you. They already trust you. They already did business with you once. Now, all you have to do is remind them that you exist. So let me give you some math on this. Let's say you served 1,000 customers total. So 75% have been contacted. All right. So that's 750 dormant customers. Industry data shows you can reactivate about 25% with a proper system. So that's 188 customers times your average job value. For kicks, let's just say $800. That is roughly $150,000. Okay, so $150,000 sitting in your database right now, just waiting for you to reach out. Uh, but here's the thing: you're not reaching out because you don't have a system. You're too busy. So that 150,000, it's money you're losing every single year by doing nothing. All right. Uh, that's leak number one. So let's go ahead and jump into leak number two. Leak number two is the star rating gap. Okay. So for you all watching this now, who actively manages your Google reviews? Okay. Just think about that for a second. Most HVAC companies treat reviews as an afterthought, and customers leaves good reviews, great. Okay. Customer leaves a bad review. All right. Hope nobody sees it. But here's what Harvard Business School research found. Each additional star in your Google rating increases by 7%, increases revenue by 7%, 7% per star. So let's do some more math. If your business does, say, 500,000 a year and you're sitting at 4.2 stars, and your competitor down the street has 4.8 stars, that's a zero point 0.6 star gap. All right, so zero point 0.6 times 7% equals 4.2% revenue difference. For you, with those numbers, that's roughly 21,000 per year. That's going to your competitor instead of you, just because of reviews. And here's the crazy part: most of you have happy customers who would leave reviews. They just never get asked to. So you're sitting there with a 4.2 rating, losing 21,000 a year. Not because your service is bad, but because you don't have a system for asking customers to leave reviews. That's $21,000 you're leaving on the table every single year. So that's leak number two. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the behemoth, the big one, leak number three. All right. All right. So this is the biggest leak by far, the missed call crisis. This is a question I want you to really think about. How many calls does your business get per day? 20, 30, 40? And what percentage of those calls do you think that you answer? Now, most HVAC owners would say 80 to 90%, but when we actually track the data, it's closer to 60 to 70%, which means 30 to 40% of your calls are going to voicemail. Now, some of those people leave a message, some don't. But here's what the research shows: 78% of customers go with the first company that responds to their call. So if they call you and get voicemail, they're calling your competitor, and your competitor is answering the phone. So let me show you what this is costing you. Let's just again say you're getting 30 calls a day. So 30% go to voicemail. So that's 9 missed calls per day, give or take. Um, Over a year, that's 3,285 missed calls, give or take. Now, not every call is a paying customer. So let's just say 30% of answered calls actually gets booked. That's still 985 jobs per year that are lost. So times that times your average job value, and let's just again random number $400. That's 394,000. So almost 400,000 in revenue you're losing because you're not answering the phone. And that's just during business hours. So what about after hours? What about nights, weekends, holidays? Someone's furnace goes out at 11 p.m. on a Saturday in January and they call you and they get voicemail. Uh, they're calling the next HVAC company on Google, and that company just got a $1,500 emergency service call. This is the single biggest revenue leak in your business right now today, and I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it in a few minutes. The first, let's go ahead and finish this audit. So, leak number 4. Uh, Before we move on to leak number 4, though, I want to show you a quick preview of the solution for leak number 3. This is where our voice agent comes in. All right. It answers every call 24/7, 365. Instant call capture, 24/7 coverage, nights, weekends, holidays, it doesn't matter. Zero missed revenue from voicemail. Okay. I'll show you a live demo later in this presentation, but for now, just know this leak is 100% fixable. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to leak number 4. All right, so this is the slow multi-channel response. All right, here's the reality of 2026. Your customers aren't just calling anymore. They're texting you. They're messaging you on Facebook. They're leaving questions on your Google business profile, and they're emailing you also. And most HVAC companies are checking those messages maybe once a day. All right. Meanwhile, research from Harvard Business Review shows companies that respond within 5 minutes are 287% more likely to convert to lead. 287%. But you're responding in 4 hours or 8 hours or worse the next day. By the time you respond, they've already booked with someone else. The average HVAC company loses about 50% of their leads just from slow response times. For a company getting 50 leads per month, that's 25 lost customers. Times your average job value of say $600, we're looking at 15,000 per month. All right, that's $180,000 a year just from slow responses. That's leak number 4. Now we have one more, leak number 5. Now this is the last one, the dead website. Gonna ask this real quick. How many of you watching this have a website? All right. Everyone has a website, right? But here's the question. Is your website converting visitors into leads? The industry average conversion rate for HVAC websites is 2.35%. It means out of every 100 people who visit your site, two will fill out a form or call you. So optimized HVAC websites convert at 5 to 8%, give or take. That's more than double. So let's just say your site gets 300 visitors per month. At 2.35%, you're getting somewhere around 7 leads. At 5%, you'd be getting 15 leads. That's 8 additional leads per month. 96 per year times 30% conversion, uh, 29 additional jobs times 800 average job value, looking at another 23,200 per year just from having a better website. Now, that's leak number 5. Now, let's go ahead and add all that up. Let's recap. All right. Leak number 1, the dead website, 150,000 to 200,000 loss per year. Leak number 2, star rating gap, 21,000 loss per year. Leak number 3, missed call crisis, 262,000 to 394,000 loss per year. Leak number 4, slow multi-channel response, 45,000 to 180,000 loss per year. Leak number 5, the dead website, 23,000 to $38,000 loss per year. Now, the total between half a million and $600,000. Now, look, I know what some of you are thinking. Adam, those numbers sound high. There's no way I'm losing that much. And look, you're right to be skeptical. Okay, so let me ask you this: how many customers did you serve last year, and how many could you have served if you answered 100% of your calls? How many customers would you have if you had a 4.8 star rating instead of a 4.2 star rating? How many leads did your website generate last year? And how many could it have generated if it was converting at 5% instead of just 2%? Now, look, the math doesn't lie. These aren't hypothetical losses. This is money that's walking out of your door every single day. And here's the thing, your competitors are, again, losing the same amount, which means the first HVAC company, once again, in Chicago that fixes these 5 profit leaks, they are going to dominate the market because while everyone else is operating at 48% efficiency, they're operating at 90%. They're answering 100% of calls. They have a 4.8 star rating. Their website is converting at 6.7%. They're reactivating, past customers on autopilot. All right. And they're taking market share from everybody else. And that's honestly what I'm here to help you do. So let me go ahead and show you the system. All right. Now, before I show you the solution, I want you to know something important. You're not alone. Okay. We've audited 47 HVAC companies across the United States. The average score is 240 out of 500 points. That's a 48% efficiency rating, which means the average company is leaving 300,000 or more on the table. So if you're sitting there thinking, wow, that's me. Yeah, again, you're not alone. This is an industry-wide problem. But here's the opportunity. The first company that fixes it will win and win big. So let's finally talk about how to actually fix it. So here's what I do. I offer a free 10-minute HVAC profit leak audit specifically for your business. In this audit, I'll show you your exact business health score out of 500 points, your specific dollar losses in each of the five leak areas, which gaps are costing you the most money right now, and exactly how to fix them if you want. The audit takes 10 minutes on the phone. We also have an app that you can run through and do the app on your own and do the audit on your own time, which is takes about same thing about 10 minutes. I'll If we're on the phone, I'll ask you about 15 questions or so. We'll do the math together, and at the end, you'll know exactly where your money is leaking. And then what you do with that information is completely up to you. All right, so here's my promise to you. All right, no pitch, no pressure, just data. All right, what you do with that information, again, is up to you. After the audit, you'll know exactly where you're losing money. You can fix it yourself, you can hire someone else to fix it, or you can work with us. Completely your choice. So I hope that sounds fair. Now, quick introduction. Again, if we haven't met before, my name is Adam Agley. I run SearchTick Digital Marketing here in Chicago. Our entire focus is on helping Main Street businesses, especially HVAC companies right now, implement AI systems that capture revenue they're currently losing. All right, we're located at 73 West Monroe, fifth floor, right here in Chicago. You can reach me at grow@surgetick.com or check us out at surgetick.com. All right, our mission is simple: save Main Street with AI. And that starts with helping you plug these five profit leaks. So let's go ahead and talk about the next steps. Here's how to claim your free audit. Text me right now at 773-303-6023. Just say audit. That's it. And I'll send you back a calendar link. Pick a time that works for you. We'll hop on the phone for about 10 minutes or so. I'll run you through the full HVAC profit leak audit, and you'll see your exact numbers. Now, I'm limiting this to 5 Chicago HVAC companies this month. And why am I doing this? Because I want to give each business hands-on attention. I cannot do that with 20 companies at once. So it's really first come, first serve. So currently, I have 3 spots left. So if you want to know your number, if you want to see exactly where your business is leaking money, go ahead and text me right now at 773-303-6023. Again, that is 773-303-6023. Just say audit. Now, one more thing before we wrap up. Remember that $566,000 annual loss? That's roughly $1,547 per day. All right. So every day you wait costs $1,547. Now, look, I'm not saying that to pressure you. I'm not saying that because I'm really saying that because it's true. The numbers don't care about your timeline. They're happening whether you act or not. Okay. So the first HVAC company that fixes these five leaks will dominate. Everyone else will play catch up. So again, text me. Let's find your leaks. 773-303-6023. Thank you and have a good one.